So you want to make money with Blender because someone told you that's easy and there are multiple ways to do it. You decide to create your 3D assets, but it turns out it takes much more time and self-discipline than you've ever expected. No problem, you've also heard the work hard, play hard mantra, right? So you crunch for the next 3 months to create your first pack of 30 assets. Then you spend another month setting things on Gumroad or Blender Market, creating technical documentation and landing page, getting ready to pay your first taxes because you don't want to go to jail and PayPal won't let you accept any larger amounts of money without that anyway. You spam your product on Blender Artist Forum, Blender Nation's newsfeed, your Twitter account with 120 followers, your WhatsApp family group chat, you message all your Facebook high school friends, and after 4 months of work, you land 2 sales and accumulate $40 of wealth. Congratulations, you're now officially 6 times below the average poverty line in Africa. Does this sound like a joke to me? Unfortunately, this is the reality of the vast majority of people trying to sell their online products. Does this mean earning money with Blender is impossible? Well, as everything in life, the answer to this question is a little bit more complicated. I've recently seen a couple of new videos about earning money with Blender, and not gonna lie, the idea suggested by the default cube seems to be one of the best so far. But I've also created a brief video on that topic a year ago, you might want to check it out, and I wanted to touch back on it some time ago already, so now's the chance. If you're new to my channel and know nothing about me, well, I'm a Blender guy running a small remote-only Blender 3D agency for the past 10 years, earning and still the story that I've shared at the very beginning of this video is quite close to my heart. I think I can say I've been there, I've done that, and the short answer to the question, can you make money with Blender, is there is no easy money, unless you sell your soul to the devil, of course. But seriously, if you talk to anyone working in the 3D industry for a longer time, it doesn't really matter if you work in Blender or any other 3D application. There are no shortcuts, and as some people say in show business, the one night success stories take 10 years to build. And of course, there are people who get tremendous success and results in a very short amounts of time, even without that much of a skill sometimes. But for you or me, the chance to be that person are probably close to zero, so you shouldn't be really focusing on that. So if there's no easy money and you will never get lucky, how do people actually earn money with Blender? How do I earn money with Blender? Actually, before we jump into that, let's talk about the money itself, because of course you can make money with Blender, that's without a question, and it's not even that hard. But does it make sense? Does crunching for 4 months only to earn a few bucks, as I've described it in the opening story, makes any sense at all? Well, actually, it depends on the situation. Let's say you're in your early 20s, still living with your parents, nothing really serious in your head. You have all the time in the world and you decide to slowly but patiently build a 3D assets library and sell it somewhere. At first, it will seem as it doesn't make sense at all, as you'll be probably earning barely to buy some games on Steam, but over time, both your assets library and money will start to add up. So it might be $200, $300, $500 each month, and by the end of the year, you might get overall $5,000 to $6,000. And I don't know about you, but if I was in my early 20s, that would be a really nice amount of money I could spend on anything. However, the same amount of money will look completely different to someone in his mid-30s who has the whole family to provide for. In that case, $2,000 or even $3,000 a month might not be enough. The taxes, mortgage, rent costs can easily eat most of that money. But if you're barely 30, still single, having a regular 8 to 5 3D artist job, and then you get additional $2,000 from the side content you created in your spare time, again, that's a completely different situation. So the true question is not if you can make money with Blender, but how much do you want to make and how effective can you get at making it thanks to Blender. And I could be talking about it for hours, but the sheer fact you can use Blender completely for free, meaning you can start creating value for other people without any additional costs, that already makes it a very effective solution. Now, what are the actual ways of making money with Blender? From the 10 years of my experience, I would say there are 4 main ways. Freelancing or having a studio job as a 3D artist would be the first 2 ways. The third would be creating Blender related content such as 3D assets, materials, or courses. And the fourth way would be starting your own YouTube channel. What would be my suggestion for you? My suggestion is that before you start seriously thinking about money, you should first get good at anything in 3D. That's nothing that was never said before, honestly. Develop a skill, build a portfolio, prove that you will bring any value to the company or client that decides to hire you. You must understand that earning money in 3D is as simple as making any other business. People don't want to give away their hard-earned buck if they don't have to. And you and I are no different. We only decide to pay someone or buy something only if we kind of selfishly see the true value in that thing or our benefit in purchasing that thing. And same goes with Blender. If you deliver the value, if people see that they benefit from your work, then they will pay you. If you're just getting started, I would say learning the interior visualization workflow is the way to go for many reasons. But I don't want to talk about it in this video. I've created the entire course on this topic, so if you're interested, you can check a link in the video description. What I want to say is before you start making money, you have to get good at anything. Focus on something you feel that you have talent for or you can truly enjoy doing for hours. Perhaps you're good at character design or animation, or maybe you can sit for hours and do the hard surface modeling while listening to the music. If it's possible, don't get into something only because you see some other people making quick money out of it. If they're already earning and you're just waking up, it's probably way too late for you to jump into the same train, and even if, I don't think it's a long-term solution. But once you get some experience as a 3D artist or a freelancer, you'll start noticing some niches within the 3D industry, and these might be an interesting ideas for Blender related products. It is only when, in my opinion, you should consider creating these products and trying to sell them to the others. I came up with the chocofur idea 3 years after I started my first business, and it took me the extra 3 years to actually focus on that product. So it's like 6 years after I started doing Blender professionally. And of course, I'm not saying you can't do this earlier. What I'm trying to say is your chances for success when you do all of this increase once you have more experience as a 3D artist. The whole separate story is YouTube, as you can become a star here by creating anything YouTube algorithm feels interesting to feed to the people. And of course, creating the quality, engaging videos is a completely separate skill you have to master together with Blender. But if you have a channel of over 100,000 subs and you already have some existing Blender products, I don't think it's anything unusual if you earn between $5,000 to $10,000 a month. But you have to remember the product development costs money and you never know if it's gonna be received well. If you don't have any products, I'm still pretty sure you can have pretty decent income just from the affiliates, brand deals, or Patreon. It really depends on the strategy you have for your channel to grow. A general downside, almost everyone with basic Blender skill, a camera and mic wants to have a YouTube channel today. So again, the better your 3D track record is, the more experience you have, the better art you create, the more chances for success on YouTube you're gonna have. Remember, there can only be as many Blender YouTube channels and you shouldn't really count on the AdSense revenue either. In my case, it pays for the phone bills and the internet, which is not bad of course, but you just have to keep in mind that the educational, tutorial related channels, they don't generate as much as the entertainment ones. So, the final thoughts. There is no easy money, and actually the more you chase the money only, the more it pulls away from you. It's like with dating, you know, if your only point in life is to be with that one girl and everything circles around her, trust me, it's not gonna end well for you. Be yourself. Focus on things you have talent for. Create something interesting and of value. Solve a problem and simply hope that people will appreciate your work. Some people say you have to work smart, the others say you have to work hard, and I think you just have to do both. It is possible to earn good money with Blender, but Simply there are no shortcuts. That's gonna be it for this video. Thanks everyone for sticking to the end. If you want to support my channel, just feel free to visit chocofur store and getting anything you find useful. Link is in the video description. And if you like this kind of content, feel free to let me know in the comment section. I actually would really like to cover more ins and outs of working as a Blender professional, cover topics such as finding clients, pricing projects, and similar. So feel free to let me know, and I see you guys in another chocofur video. Bye bye.